All right, guys, the Utah Jazz get a win in Memphis. This is Hanson James. This is the SLC Dunk postgame show. Maybe one of the sleepiest games of the year for the Utah Jazz, but they did what they needed to do and win the game. It was an ugly game against a Memphis team who is not good, have lost 15 straight games, I had heard the Marc Gasol comments, and tell me in the comments if I'm wrong below, but that he's tired of playing like G League games. That's a G League roster. I mean, they've got some young talent on there, like Deontay Davis, who had his little thing with Rudy. I liked him in the draft, and you can see why he might become a nice player. But, at this point, at best, maybe like a nice backup center. That's kind of what their team feels like to me, the Grizzlies. There's a lot of nice backup players, but they have really, outside of Marc Gasol and outside of Mike Conley, who's on the bench, and Chandler Parsons, who may never, I don't know, is Chandler Parsons ever going to play again? I don't know. But outside of those guys, a lot of these guys are like nice bench players, Ben McLemore, I don't know. Is anything going to come out of that? I don't know. He has some nice things about him, but he's just nothing's ever come to fruition. So the thing I was worried about most for this game, honestly, was when you're playing a team like this filled with players like G League level players or young players trying to prove themselves and G League players trying to play their hearts out to make a team or just show up and play well to maybe get a contract. Those games scare me because you don't want your team to get hurt. You've got, the Jazz, who every game counts. And if you have one of these guys who's playing super hard, like a, Jarrell Martin or one of these guys that just goes hard, and all of a sudden someone lands in someone's knee or something like that, you just hope that nothing like that happens. And luckily for the Jazz, they went in, they got the win. But with like 6 or 7 minutes left, the Jazz were just kind of running out the clock. That was perfect because that's what the Jazz needed to do. They needed this win, no injuries, and come out, having played pretty well. So nice win for the Jazz. Jae Crowder looked incredible, and if we get Jae Crowder taking 10 threes a game like that and hitting them at a 40% clip, tonight he was 6 for 11, so above 50%. Obviously, you take that. But if Jae Crowder can spread the floor on the bench like that, that becomes exciting, especially when Dante comes back, which is soon, very soon. It's going to be even better because you're going to have a lightning fast driver in Dante. You're going to have shooting with Crowder, and you always have defense and offense from whether it's Favors or Gobert at center, whatever your lineup is on the floor. The Jazz lineups are tightening right now. You can just tell that Quinn is playing shorter lineups. He's playing his best players because we have to make the playoffs. We've switched from going to let's kind of see how well this player's playing. I mean, like 25 games ago, the Jazz were just kind of probably trying some things out, seeing, what we have for next season. Now we're a playoff team, or will be soon. The Jazz were the 8th seed for about an hour until, other teams didn't help us out tonight. The Nuggets won, I believe. But the Jazz are playing to win, and so shortened rotations, you can bet Dante's going to get in there. But it's nice to see the Jazz, when they play with the tight rotations, with their best players, are winning games and winning handily. They have the second best record since Rudy returned, and they have the best defense. I mean, the Jazz are a great team. They really are a great team. And if Rudy had played all year, forget about it. Defensive Player of the Year is just one of the things. But the Jazz would have been a high level, top 5 seed this year. That's how good they are. They're really that good. So nice win for the Jazz. Not a lot to say about this game other than it's just nice the Jazz went in, got the win, didn't get injured. It was nice to see Jae Crowder hit some threes, and maybe that's something that portends well for the future games. 6 for 11 is fantastic, and it doesn't look like that's ever going to slow down. He's going to be getting that shot a lot in this offense because the floor spreads, and Derrick Favors and Rudy Gobert are elite pick and roll rollers to the rim, so he's going to get that. And so that's exciting to see. Ricky Rubio continues to play well. Let's shout out to Ricky Rubio tonight. That guy is tough. He never ceases to amaze me with his toughness. Like, that little scuffle with Rudy and Deontay was actually not that big a deal. It was a little bit of just like, it was nothing. But you know what? Ricky Rubio is as tough as anyone I've ever seen in the NBA. He's really tough. He doesn't back down to anyone. I know he's pretty Ricky, but that guy will get into it with anybody. He's not afraid of you. I'm impressed with Ricky's toughness and his leadership. I know his shot, which is actually going in a lot right now. surprisingly well, especially that little mid-range pull-up he has, and his finishing at the rim has actually been pretty nice this year. And so when you combine that with his passing and his defense and his leadership, it's great. But his toughness and that matters. That shows up to the other players on the team. They know that Ricky's got their back and that he plays hard and he doesn't back down. It's kind of just the feel of this team, the aura, just kind of everyone on this team is out for each other and they don't back down, and we're going to fight and we're not going to let you walk all over us. And even though the refs sometimes are terrible, the Jazz don't back down. And so it's a really nice thing to see with the Jazz right now, how well they're playing. They have a great chemistry right now. Everyone is in it for the team. It's not for themselves. It's great. It's fantastic to see. So nice win for the Jazz. Obviously, if they'd have lost this game, it would have been really bad. But they went in, took care of business, didn't have to exert too much. Nice win. Serge Depoyan, a lot of games to go. We are winning at the right time. We are going to get in. Relax, everybody. Oh, yeah, the Jazz are going to make it in. Unless we have some catastrophic injury, knock on wood, the Jazz will be fine. So really nice, and you're very right. Like, the Jazz will make the playoffs. They have the easiest schedule. Honestly, they have like 2 or 3 games that they're not favored to win the rest of the year. And one of those is like a 50-50 with the Pelicans, who the Jazz might be playing, and they might not have Anthony Davis, who, by the way, the Pelicans lost tonight without Anthony Davis. Adam Ray King, we still can't get help. We're still in 10th. We will get there. Don't worry. We will get there, guys. The other players and teams have a rougher go of it than the Jazz. They just do. And it's not just the Pelicans and the Nuggets that might be dropping out. Don't sleep on the Grizzlies, or not the Grizzlies, the Timberwolves and the Spurs dropping out. Spurs are in a free fall right now. Absolute free fall, and can't find a way to win, and they are playing tough teams. If the Jazz only lose like 2 more games the rest of the year, I mean, they're in easily. It's not just the 8th seed, it's like maybe the 6th. If the Jazz get to the 6th seed, oh my goodness. They have a chance to upset somebody, because the Jazz are really, really good right now, and no one wants to face the Jazz. Nobody. So that's exciting to think about. The Jazz are going to continue to win. Big-time game. I believe the next game is against the Pelicans. I could be wrong, but that's a big-time game. And you know Anthony Davis is coming out for that one because they know who they're playing. And he might be playing hurt, and that's good for the Jazz. You never want to see a player hurt, but if that helps the Jazz, that's good. So anyways, guys, like and subscribe this channel. I hope you're doing that because we're friends, and that's what friends do. Also, I hope you're going to slcdunk.com and reading all the articles and all the things. We write a lot of things, and we take time for you, the people. Also, make sure you search SLC Dunk on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. My name's Hanson James. Follow me on Twitter if you want, but don't be a jerk. Talk to you later.